Hello, it's Wonder Skippy here again. In my last video on the pre-trib rapture evidence, I was doing an analysis of Joel at the end, and I ran out of time. What I was trying to show was that Joel is talking about the day of the Lord. In the second chapter is talking about the Lord's army, which resembles horses, but is people and like mighty men. It says here, they shall run like mighty men, and shall climb the wall like men of war. So there's a lot going on in Joel, and I think it's about a lot of things, and it's about the restoration of Israel in the latter days. It's about the day of the Lord and the lack of faith in Christ in the latter days. This bit here, for a long time now, I believe it's an invasion of angels. It's the Lord's army, and they're people that they've never been seen before, and they're a bit like a Roman legion, an army of soldiers which leave destruction, and they're very terrible. When people see them, they lose their faces turn pale with terror, fright. Day of the Lord is great and very terrible. It's kind of likened to locusts elsewhere in the first chapter. Devouring locusts is in the past in the history of Israel, and then there's restoration mentioned here somewhere. It's about where does it say it? I can't see it here, but anyway, it's about restoration after various locust plagues in the past. Some people say this is in the past because of this here. It says for the pouring out of the Spirit upon all flesh, which happened, after the Pentecost. And they're saying because of the order of it in the chapter, then the invasion happens before the Pentecost, because it comes in order before this here in verse 28. I don't agree with that. I don't think it's strictly chronological as far as the chapter goes, although it does say it shall come to pass afterwards. But so that's what some people have said, that the invasion is something that happened historically, but I don't think it is. I think it's something which happens in the last days, and it's related to the day of the Lord, which is this here, and the sun shall be turned to darkness and the moon into blood, which is something Jesus quotes as well. So anyway, I wanted to just go back on to that. Here's the restoration here. And I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten, cankerworm and caterpillar and palmer worm, my great army which I sent among you. So I don't really know what that means, but that's talking about restoration, and then it's talking about the way the Israelites were put in, sent to the wilderness and about how they shall not be reviled in future. A bit back here somewhere there's talk about the Northern Army. Where does it say that? And then the Lord will be jealous for his land and pity his people. This bit before in my last video I was saying is to do with the rapture of the church. It's included in these chapters here, and the return of Christ. But also here there's stuff about Israel. His people are the Israelites. It says, and no more will make you a reproach among the heathen. So this is after the exile, the regathering to Palestine in the 20th century. And then here we've got this Northern Army, which is also mentioned in Ezekiel. But I will remove far off from you the Northern Army, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate, and his face towards the east sea, and his hinter part towards the utmost sea. This here is similar to Ezekiel's writing. I'm not sure what that is really, but I had a look on a map, and this is Israel here. So if he's talking about Israel, if you go east, there isn't a sea. There is no East Sea except the Persian Gulf. I suppose you could say that's Eastern Sea. And then the utmost sea would be this here, along the coast of Turkey, because it's the utmost of Israel. So this is it here. So I think what it is, my guess is this is the beast here. This is the tail end, which is Anatolia, Asia Minor, and this is the head in Iran. And this is the beast, whether it's literal or it's a symbol of the power of Islam, I don't know myself, not sure. But the Ottoman Turkish Empire and Iran, and also Babylon here. The Ottomans had their center in Baghdad, I believe. So we got the Ottomans there, and the Iranians, another power base of Islam here, and then we've got Israel over here. So I would say, at a guess, this is what we're talking about, as some kind of power base of Islam throughout history. And this is the Northern Army along here. Syria was a kind of like around here in the old days. This was Assyria. So like going back to Joel, I went through this on the last video. Like I said, what I think it meant, the withering of Israel, and the fire that devours the pastures of the wilderness. Some people think the wilderness is the United States. That might be so, I'm not really sure, but that would be applicable to these latter days, I think. For the fire hath devoured the pastures of the wilderness. The flame has burned all the trees of the field. I think what the trees of the field are the nations around the world, which are this is a kind of a symbolic way of saying that they're heading for destruction, I think. The rivers of water dried up. That's like the fountain of life, and the fire has devoured the pastures of the wilderness. So that's what I think. I think it's talking about a kind of a spiritual problem in the nations. And this is like a repeat here. It's talking about the wilderness again, and the flame. And then this is the army here, which is the invasion. I think it's when Jesus talks about the angels being sent out. In Matthew 24, the latter part of Matthew 24, which is about the after the tribulation of those days. So we've got a post-trib day of the Lord, which is, in my opinion, when the angels appear on the earth and people are destroyed by the angels. It's going to be like a gathering, like Jesus talks about, and there's a gathering of fish in a net, and the rubbish is tossed out, and and the good fish and the rubbish is sorted out, and the wheat and the tares and all that is happens on when this event happens with the angels. Before their face the people shall be much pained, all faces shall gather darkness. This is in the King James. Another version says that they go pale, the faces. And then the thief enters the windows like a thief. And the Lord shall utter his voice before his army. For his camp is very great. For he is strong that executeth his word. For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible. I think the Lord here is Christ, and the day of the Lord is the final day, the terrible day. This is a plea to return, Israel, to return to the Lord, repent, turn unto the Lord your God. Who knoweth if he will repent, return, even a meat offering and a drink offering unto the Lord your God, leave a blessing. So that's what I reckon. I thought I'd just go back on to have a look at Joel again, and just explain a bit more what I think is going on there with it.